her band. Like, I love her band, and we just kind of her band always gives me the best photos. Like, her drummer Chris will just, like, anytime he sees the camera, he will, like, point a drumstick at me, or
Is that a drummer thing? He does the same thing. I love doing that. I think it's a great pose.
Like, let's pause the show.
He's like, yeah, I am not. He's like, I am not hitting this beat until you take this photo.
Exactly.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to the Groove Lab Season 3.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. Do you remember how to do this?
I do.
It's been a long time. What was it, like October of last year, I think, was our last episode. And yeah, it's been...
What have you been up to?
Well, you know what I've been up to, but I've been playing...
Tell the audience.
I've been playing lots of music. We've been playing like 4 or 5 nights a week. It's been grand.
It has been.
It has been so much fun. But we're ready to do this again. We're ready to bring back the Groove Lab. We have T-shirts.
We do. Should I show them?
Yeah. Let's see if we can.
No, you can't do it.
Okay, whatever. You can find them on our website. We're sold out right now, but we are going to be getting some more soon.
Yeah, we're live here at Rosewood Studios.
We are. We're live at Rosewood Studios. Thank you, Drew and Carrie, for letting us use this super cool space.
The drum room.
Yeah, we're in the drum room. We're going to be having guests come in, and just, it's going to be so much fun. We are going to be doing bi-weekly episodes instead, just because when we started this, it was during the pandemic and we didn't have anything else going on.
Sure.
So yeah, I think every other week is all I can handle. But I'm excited to do it again. We are being sponsored by Kaiser Musical Products again. We love them. If you've listened to our episodes before, you know we love Kaiser. They're like a family to us, and we are just very thankful to have them on board again.
And make a great capo.
They do. The most iconic capo. Anyway, so thank you guys for being here. Oh, also, we're on video. If you
Great.
Here's our new thing.
I'm glad I have clothes on. You didn't tell me.
By the way.
Okay.
By the way, we're on video. We're going to try it. I am not making any promises, but we're going to try it out and see how it goes.
All right. So our first guest this season is a Nashville-based photographer and digital content creator. Please welcome Kaylee Steffel.
Hey, Kaylee.
Hey.
Hey.
Need some applause right there.
You want me to add to it now?
Welcome to the Groove Lab.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being on. Okay, so let's start with your background. How did you get started?
So, I was in college and was like not wanting to go to class ever. I just wanted to create. And it really started though at a Carrie Underwood concert. My mom and I went, and we had this little Kodak camera, and my mom was like the person that took all the photos growing up. So she's not in a lot of photos, and that's kind of me now. But so like we took this Kodak camera. It was a Mother's Day gift for her. We went to Carrie Underwood in Tucson, Arizona. I grew up in Phoenix area. So we went down there, started taking photos, almost tried to sneak backstage. I did try. We did not. But I just kind of took photos or whatever. They're horrible. I would never show those now. But then fast forward, that was probably when I was like 14 or 15. Fast forward into college, didn't really want to go to classes, but I had to get a normal job. So I would kind of ditch classes and go take photos of my friends' like soccer games and stuff like that. And then I went into corporate America for 3 years, and by year 3 I was like, I can't do this. I can't do the normal everyday life. I need to go create. So I kind of the whole last year that I worked in corporate America, I was in Ohio at the time, and um, I just would go and find any artist that would be in town and just be like, and slide into the DMs and be like, hey, can I come take photos of you? And a lot of them were very nice, would be like, yeah, just come on out. I had to get past security a couple times with the showing of the phone, like here they let me in, like because they didn't leave my name a lot of times. It was just kind of like, yeah, you can come, like whatever. And so I did that for about a year straight. I would go to work at like 9 in the morning, get off at like 6, and then sometimes drive 2 hours to Columbus, take photos, drive 2 hours back, edit them, like get a couple hours of sleep, and then would be back at my desk by 9 a.m. again.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I did that for about a year, and about November 2019, I just got tired of it, and I left and came down here.
So, okay. I know Nashville is full of musicians.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's also full of, all types of creators, photographers. I mean, I don't know the world of photography,
Yeah.
like I do music, but how did you get your foot in the door in Nashville?
So I knew, like, because I worked in sales for 3 years. I knew that the only way I was going to get anywhere was if I like was out every night. So I kind of knew the scene a little bit, obviously, because I was working with like country artists while I was that whole year. So I was working with country artists, so I knew like a little bit of the spots. Like I knew about Whiskey Jam. I knew about like all the bigger rounds, and like a little bit of the songwriters world, because I'm more of I tend to lean towards the songwriters a lot more than like artists, which I work with artists. I love them, but when I was really getting started, I knew a lot of the songwriters. So um, I just kind of would go out every night, 7 nights a week. It got very tiring, but I just was like, this is the only way that you're really going to be known around here. And it's paid dividends now, because people are like, oh, I remember you from this. But my first real break, I would say, was Rhonda Funk. I was at the Rusty Nail out in like Hermitage area, and Ashley McBride was playing, and so that place was place was a little packed, and so I was just kind of standing there with a friend, that one of my first friends in town, Jesse Wilson. We were just kind of standing there. We were like in awe of Ashley, just singing and everything. This woman was standing next to me, and she just started asking questions, and I was like, yeah, I'm a photographer, just kind of here chilling type thing. And she's like, oh, I'm going into the studio, I just got signed, do you want to come in? And like, I didn't know this girl from anybody. And I was like, yeah, sure. She gives me this address out to Thompson Station. I'd never been down that far, but I went out there, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do this, and spent the day with her. So that was one of the first times that anybody really gave me an opportunity. And then the one that has got me on the road now with Ashley is Ashley Barron. I was at Tin Roof, de Montbriand, and Lindsay Reinhardt was running this round. Randy Travis was there, and it was like some charity event around Christmas time, and so he was doing this like meet and greet, and all he had to do was like bring a toy or whatever. I didn't bring a toy. I wanted to shoot the show. So I just walked in with my camera, and it was like Revival, and I start taking photos, and then Lindsay comes up around and stands next to me, and I thought I was in trouble. And she's like hey, what you doing? Like, taking photos. Am I not allowed to? She's like, no. She's like, if you want to send me any of those, that'd be fine. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Uh, so so yeah, it was one of those where I was like, oh, but she worked with SSM at that time, and Ashley was looking for a photographer, and that kind of all is how that happened. Was I met Lindsay and then eventually met Ashley, and have been working with her for about 2.5 years now.
That's so cool. Okay, so you also have a photography book.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
That was boredom.
Love
That was 20.
it. Love it.
Yeah, that was 2020 boredom. I was sitting on my couch, and yeah, I was like, well, there's not much to do around here. Nashville was pretty shut down. You know, the industry was pretty shut down in general. So I was like, let's create a book of what it's like around here, you know, this is, while there's nothing going on. And a lot of the photos are actually just of places that would normally be packed, just deserted.
So kind of like eerie a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Like I went down to Broadway a lot while it was kind of desolate, and it was very strange. It was very weird.
You know, you'll probably never, well, I'll say hopefully never get to see that again.
Oh
So how cool is that you have those photos?
Oh yeah, that's like we were when they were allowing beer on the streets. Me and a friend went down and
Beer on the streets.
beer on the streets, and like this one bar, I don't even remember which bar, was just like selling beer out their window.
Like, why not?
Like there's a photo. I don't remember if it made the book or not. I haven't looked at it recently, but she's drinking a beer on the street on Broadway, and there's a cop car driving behind her.
That's awesome.
And I was like, well, I don't think that one made the book, because I think that was like her family probably wouldn't have been very very happy about that one. I don't think that made the book, but
How that photo exists.
that photo exists.
We need to see it. We need to
I don't
see it.
know.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
What a cool photo.
Yeah, that's that's not the one with the cop in the background, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
that's the one that did make the book. I had to ask permission for that one. Like, hey, I'm making this book now, because I didn't start making the book until probably months after that. So
Okay. Can
yeah,
people buy the book?
yeah, they can. It's on Blurb. That's who I distributed it through. I can send you
Blurb.
the link.
Yeah, send the link. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
I went to Vegas for that. The cover art is the Statue of Liberty in Vegas masked.
That's cool.
That's the, I think it says Vegas Stronger across it or something like that. So I bought like a $30 flight to Vegas in the middle of everything, and
How was that flight?
it was interesting because like I was like very much out and about, but like still very cautious about things, because like I have a grandpa that has like heart problems, so like I was still kind of like cautious. But the Vegas trip was fun. I went by myself, and I just went hiking and stuff in like Red Rocks, and went out to Death Valley and just kind of did my own thing. So
That's cool.
Well, I do have a question.
Oh,
Yeah.
would you like to
I would
speak,
like to
Jeff?
speak.
I'm sorry.
For once,
I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, that's all right. As you know, musicians love to have their pictures taken for the most
Yeah.
part, and it's promoting the band, and also photographers like it because they can promote their work, their photography. What are some of the interesting aspects of photographing, photographing, sorry, musicians? Because musicians can be kind of quirky.
Yeah.
They're very interesting people for the most part. So give us some interesting stories about some of your dealings with musicians?
I feel
Maybe
like
some tips for like good photos for artists too.
okay. I feel like this is more like it touches more on how we as society view, because for the most part I work a lot with women, and that's kind of who I work with. Everyone, I do work with men, but for the most part I'm getting hired by women. And I would say just like how they view themselves is just a little like it's not weird because I understand it, because as a woman I get it. But it's kind of sad because we as a society have kind of pushed this. So on top of being quirky as musicians of like I want this certain look or anything like that, it's kind of also the societal norms of how women view themselves.
I can see that.
So it's a little bit layered there, because like I'll be taking a photo and it's like, oh, I don't like how the angle of that photo makes my arm look, and I'm like, your arm looks fine, like
Right. Stuff that nobody else would
yeah
notice.
yeah, I'm like, your arm looks fine, but yeah, we can retake that, like stuff like that, like that's more like what I run into. I don't really run into much of the really quirky musician side stuff, but that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of that's a whole different thing that we could dive into. But and as far as like taking good photos is just be open to the creative process. I was just out yesterday with an artist, and it was probably one of the most fun shoots I've had in a minute, is because he was just like, hey, like, we're just going to be creative, like whatever you think looks good, whatever I think looks good, we'll just try it. It doesn't look good, then like, okay, but we got a lot of good shots. He was just like messaging me, he's like, I don't know which ones to pick, like, and that's where a lot of the good ones come from, is because you're just open to it, and
Yeah.
just kind of free to the idea of like whatever happens, and as long as the photos are in focus, good composition, like it'll work out.
That's so cool.
I can see that. A lot of people see themselves differently than the camera actually sees them.
Yeah.
So you're taking pictures of them like, do I really look that way? You know, because everybody uses these filters nowadays, and so they see
Oh,
them
yeah.
completely different than what reality is, and you may capture them in a way they go, wait a minute, that's not how I really look. And it is.
What's wrong with your camera?
Yeah, what's the
Why'd you make me look like
that?
Right.
A new camera, go buy a new one. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing where especially like I said with the whole societal things, that people see themselves a little bit different than maybe they actually are. So
Yeah.
that's a whole social media topic as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do want to talk about social media with you, because you told me that you're very into it. You're very into why it's important for musicians right now.
Yeah.
And as a musician myself, I have a little bit of a hard time balancing,
For sure.
like, the creative side, which I mean you do as well, like the creative side. How do you translate that into like staying on top of social media and like making it a priority?
So for the longest time I was the biggest TikTok hater. I was like, I don't like it. I'm like, what? Like, Instagram started going to reels, and then I'm just like, no one sees any of, like, because I'm more like, I do video, but I'm more of like photos and like that, and so like no one was seeing my work, and that was just irritating me, because I'm like, I have 1,500 followers, why is no one seeing any of my photos? Like I worked like for this long to try to get my community this big, and no one's seeing anything. So it was just frustrating to me, but recently started getting into the TikTok thing, and that's a whole thing. But I would say that the biggest thing, and it's important especially with musicians now, because it's free. It's a free way to get your music out in front of people. And before, you know, when we were growing up, you didn't get in front of people until you made it. So and making it was like a record deal cared to listen to you, which we've seen with just like the TikTok generation, like the Vine generation, and like Instagram, that what making it is it's necessarily not necessarily the best music being put out. You know, labels of course have the money and everything like that. No disrespect to labels or
Yeah.
anything, but like it's just, you know, it's kind of a game a little bit. And with you as a musician, it's important to put yourself out there, and like again, it's free marketing. And with that, I started doing TikToks just kind of for fun. I started making stupid ones, like I would be sitting in traffic, and like everybody knows how lively downtown is. So like the one I just posted was like, you know, when you're sitting in traffic and you see somebody yelling on the street, like I posted it and was like, it's our argument now. What are we mad about? Like,
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
like
I totally do that too.
I'm like
I hear
rolling
what
down the
you're
window.
saying.
Yeah, like can you tell me what is happening? Like, I want to know what we're mad about. What are we
Yeah.
screaming in front of the Ryman about? Like I just started doing those things, and then just kind of weaving in my like my work in between it, and just kind of that kind of boosted that a little bit. And you know, it's a little bit of a game, and you kind of got to play it. And I know that's not always the thing that people want to do.
Yeah, I think the ones who like get the ball rolling and you kind of get in that zone, at least for me, like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make like 15 TikToks,
Yeah,
but then like I might not make any more for a couple months, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
yeah,
I do agree with you that it is free and it is important.
yeah. I mean,
It's not always easy.
Is it quality over quantity? Do you really need to like get enough content out there, or just every day just
just every day, honestly, it's consistency. I've talked to you know, people that do social media for like, you know, brands and contents and stuff, or creators and stuff that are not necessarily in the music niche, but like they're like, yeah, just post every day. Like, and what I was doing for a minute was like, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna make this, like, what's in my bag. And then like right before that though, I posted you know, just thinking about, and it took me 5 seconds to do this thing. It was like a 5 second clip. I set my I was honestly just thinking about something. I was at Daddy's Dogs in the Nations, and I was like, oh, that people probably might find that funny. So like I set my phone up against a little napkin dispenser and just did it for like a minute. Like I just kind of let it roll for a minute as I was still eating my lunch. And so I let it roll, cut it into like a 5 second clip, wrote over it, found a viral sound or whatever, put it up, and it had like 6,500 views or whatever. And I had like maybe 90 followers. So like it's just kind of, people like things that are, I guess, would be juicy or like funny, or just something to entertain them and kind of not make it about like whatever they're going through personally, and why they're trying to escape and go to TikTok and kind of be scrolling. So I think, yeah, I think that is important too, is to kind of put your personality into it. A lot of people just put their music up and just kind of walk away, and no one is going to buy into somebody that they don't know anything about. They don't know their personality. They don't know anything beyond, oh, you can write a song. Great. If they don't connect with that song, then you're just kind of, you're in dead water with them, because, you know.
Right. That's so true. I see a lot of that stuff and I just keep on scrolling most of the
Yeah.
time, you know, unless it really like
Really
grabs
talented.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, and
Which not to say they're not talented, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna go search for it. You know?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing like, if I'm very into the artist, then yeah, I'll go search for it. But like, if they're one of my friends, of course, I'm gonna support them. But beyond that, like, you have to get me with a good hook.
Yeah.
As soon as I scroll down, there's got to be a good hook. There's got to be a good melody. I like. We've seen so many of like the sitting in the cars things that it's just like, oh, okay, keep scrolling. Which it works, I get it, but I just want that melody to hit right away.
Yeah.
But there's so much content out there, to stand out is difficult.
Oh yeah. It's a kind of, one moment it will hit, the next moment it won't. It's just like such a fast paced.
Right. Everything changes so quickly to, what people are wanting.
Yeah.
Doing on these social medias. You got to keep up on it.
Yeah, because if we think about it, like a year ago, dancing was the thing on TikTok.
Right.
Like that was the thing, is everybody had to dance. That's where my hate for TikTok came from.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why are we making these musicians stand up there and do dances?
Right.
Like that irritated me. I'm like, what are we doing?
So there's no TikTok video of you dancing. Is that what you're saying?
There are no TikTok videos of me dancing. We do not want to see that.
I think we do.
No, we don't want to see that. I am not that coordinated. There is a reason why I am behind the camera. I'm like, yeah, I'll just stand back here. Although there's probably a lot of video around town of me dancing, but that's a whole different. Literally a Nashville tour stop. There's a joke now that their promo videos are not a promo video unless there's me drinking a Michelob Ultra,
Oh my gosh.
getting down. Aaron Schilb tells me every time they're about to do filming, he's like, hey, you want to come make the video? I'm like, yeah,
I guess.
I'm like, oh god. I'm like, this is gonna be my legacy.
Well, hey, no problem with that.
Yeah, Dylan Reeves, who's a videographer in town, probably has plenty of blackmail out there. Plenty of blackmail.
Gosh. I love it.
The Groove Lab podcast is proud to be sponsored by Kaiser Musical Products.
Kaiser is a family-owned and operated guitar accessories company, proudly made in East Texas and globally recognized for their world-famous quick change capos.
Guaranteed with a lifetime warranty, Kaiser capos are ready for whatever the road throws at them.
And you really don't own a capo if you don't own a Kaiser.
That's what I've heard.
Check them out online at kaisermusical.com.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Do you hear the sirens?
Oh no.
Might make the podcast. We'll see. But can you tell everyone where to find you online? And
Yes. So if you want to look at my my work, it is Steffel Media on Instagram, which is STEFFEL Media. I post most of my work over there. If you want to just follow my shenanigans, it's just my name. Yeah, it's just my name. It's Kaylee M. Steffel. And then we're working on the website right now. That should be up soon, and that will be Kaylee M. Steffel. I'm rebranding it a little bit. I'm trying to be more my own entity there, because I'm doing more than just media at this point. So yeah, it's kind of, those are the places. If you want to follow me on TikTok, it's girl with an icon.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, just girl with an icon is on TikTok. And then I don't ever use Twitter, so there's no point in that. So
Well, I was going to say, as a musician, when we have shows and we have a photographer show up,
yeah,
it is a lot of fun because it can take a normal,
yeah,
boring gig and make it into a special time when you have a photographer out there, because they can capture moments.
oh yeah, for sure.
Like
That can get lost, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like can
Oh,
get
for
lost
sure.
on a live audience for sure.
one of my favorite people to like live shows to take photos at is Julie Eddy. So her band, like me and Julie are really good friends, and so that's already fun because we go and hang out at Red Door and drink Michelob Ultras and like have a grand old time, and that's kind of our relationship. And then her band, like I love her band, and we just kind of her band always gives me the best photos. Like her drummer Chris will just like anytime he sees the camera, he will like point a drumstick at me. Or
is that a drummer thing? He does the same.
I love doing that. I think it's a great pose.
Like, let's pause the show.
He's like, yeah, I am not. He's like, I am not hitting this beat until you take this photo.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris, I love.
We learned that in school.
Yeah. Drummer school.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like her band is awesome, and Chris is just like he's the goofy, like kind of high energy dude that just. It probably is a drummer thing, like
or hands.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So and then yeah, her guitarist is incredible. He's insane. But yeah, so the band aspect, I love doing full band shows because it's completely different.
Yeah, because there's a lot of banter on stage between all the different musicians, and you're having a good time,
yeah.
smiling at each other, and you're jamming. So you capture moments that come so quickly, and if you don't get a picture of it, it's gone.
Yeah, like I hate to sound ungrateful or anything, but I would rather do live band show any day of the week over a writer's round. Like I will do the writers round because obviously like they need content, like as a singer songwriter you need content as well, and like I'll do those and it's not a problem. It's not like it's the end of the world if I have to if I have to do a writers round, but I would rather 100% do a live band full band show.
Get the energy. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, the energy. And like I'm like the basement is one of my favorite places to shoot in town. The original basement, not the I've never gotten to shoot at the basement east, but yeah, the original basement. It's really fun, sweating all the time, pouring sweat, but like it's so much fun.
Thank you for being on and for being cool with our technical difficulties. For everyone listening, Kaylee sat on Zoom for half an hour while I tried to figure out my whole recording thing. So you're so sweet, and I really do appreciate that. I mean, you saw me. I was like panicking. How do I get in touch with her?
Oh yeah, no, I probably should have been like, when I gave you all my info, probably should give you a phone number as well.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna start asking for that from now on. See,
Yeah.
we learned a lesson today. It's all for a reason, right?
Yeah, it all happened for a reason.
Right.
I honestly have never used Zoom, so I was like out here like, how is this gonna work? So
It's pretty cool, right?
yeah, it worked perfectly. I was like, I don't know how Zoom works. So
Guys, okay, this has nothing to do with the podcast, but I just found out, which I might be late to the game. Did you know you can take a picture with your phone? Let me show you. You can do this. You can click this button. You see it, Jeff?
Uh-huh.
You can copy and paste the text that I just took from my notes for our thing. I could text it to you. I don't have to sit there and type it all up. What?
oh yeah. I recently saw that it's with the new update. The new
Is that what it is? The update?
Yeah, because I updated my phone.
I had no idea. No.
And like, yeah, it kind of irritates me though, because like I'll like click on a photo or whatever that might have text, and it just automatically tries to like transcribe it, and I was like, no, I'm just trying. No, please stop.
Oh my gosh. I just think it's the coolest thing. I've been sending like nutrition labels and like cereal boxes to my husband. I've just been like texting him random texts because
I'm sure
I'm annoying him a lot. But
she's
I do it out of love.
Just correct that she's annoying a lot.
Yeah, so he's
Add
like,
people.
he's over here like, excuse me, I no, it is.
He's like, can you please stop? I'm working.
Yeah, it's
Every time you
Tuesday.
text me, I see a big long text message. I'm like, what's wrong?
It
Is
is
she
a
grateful for
It's
your
Pop Pop.
potato chips? Like,
So should I actually give her my number?
No,
wait, okay, I'm gonna edit all this out, guys. You gotta give me your number. I'm gonna start a group. I'm gonna start a group text.
yeah.
I'm gonna be texting y'all random things.
Right.
I would be the one to put that on silent automatically.
You're like, Kaylee has left the chat.
Kaylee has left the chat. Or like, so I don't like to be that rude person though. So like,
Okay, everyone's seen it. Yeah.
I never leave the chat, but I definitely don't respond to the chats, or I just
It's a pretty big sign when you don't respond.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't respond to the chat. Well, because like, man, these group chats get so big. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they normally involve families,
yeah, I'm like,
family members.
I can do maybe 2 people. Like I can keep up with 2 people. Don't come at me 10 different ways and
Yeah.
expect me to understand what's going on here. I opened my phone one day to like 63 messages. I'm like, I'm not reading all of that. So
No. I have the
catching
same
up.
thing. My husband's family has me on their chat. I love you guys, but I
Yeah.
have, look at this, 85 unread messages. I don't even know where to begin.
Oh no, I go in so the notification goes away.
Oh, well, I should probably do that.
I just go into it,
I'm gonna do that.
the notification goes away, and then just
You're like, was it really there after all? I didn't-
mosey on away. I'm giving away secrets now. Anyway,
I know.
This is about all I did now.
No, what? No.
Oh crap.
this is gonna be put on as like the promo.
Yeah, this is the promo of the episode. Did
Kaylee-
you ever want to know why Kaylee did not respond to your text message? I'll tell you right now in this
Next on the Groove
episode of Groove Lab Podcast.
Hey, I'm Kaylee. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Groove Lab podcast. Stay groovy.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kaylee. And I'm gonna keep in touch with you.
Yeah.
And follow you on your social medias and your TikTok. I'm about to go do that. So
All right. Yeah. I try to be funny on there. So do
I can
try.
tell. I can already tell. I feel like a kindred thing. I feel like we're already BFFs. So I love it.
It was awesome talking to you guys. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.